Many thanks for joining us again. The clock continues to tick to Nigeria's presidential and National Assembly election. The electoral umpire is set and security agencies have deployed watertight security across the country. More than 87 million permanent voters' cards have been collected nationwide. Now, this is out of the 93.4 million Nigerians who are eligible to vote in Saturday's polls. At a briefing on Thursday, the Commission declared that 6.2 million PVCs remain uncollected. This number remains the largest voter population ever recorded in the West African region, but the Commission says it has meticulously prepared for the election. The Commission insists that the general election will hold as planned across the 176,000 polling units. Meanwhile, TVC News correspondents are filling the polls of Nigerians across the country ahead of Saturday's polls. TVC News' Sarah Ayeku, who is in Kaduna State, says residents are disappointed with the current administration and reeled out their expectations from those seeking their votes. In Plateau State, Phonom Joshua says residents are happily looking forward to Saturday to vote for their candidates of choice. And while security operatives on their part have sent stern warnings to mischief makers, Lanre Adeyemi was on the streets of Gombe in Nigeria's northeastern region to find out the expectations of Nigerians. And Promise Afoge reports that while the people of Edo State look forward to the election, only 25% of the state's population can vote, even though the build-up to the elections look good. And in Ebonyi State, Ivy Khan reports that the Commissioner, Fale Olale, has warned that those bent to foment trouble to leave or have themselves to blame. This and more we have in these following reports.
Most of the 18 presidential candidates jostling for the #1 job in the country are from the southern part of Nigeria, with a handful of northerners as presidential and vice presidential candidates. But history might once again prove the votes come from the north. In the 2023 elections, there are a number of variables that can further split the votes in the north among the various candidates. One is insecurity. Other variables are the voters, poverty and economy, and the cross-breeded candidates vying for various political seats. In Kaduna, northwest Nigeria, where 96% of 4.16 million registered voters have their PVCs, the residents, particularly the youths, are pumped up for the election.
Some of us as graduates, there's no work, lack of job opportunity, nothing. The next government that will come, please, they should do well.
Are you going to vote?
Yeah, I'm going to vote.
Where's your PVC?
My PVC is at home. They have my PVC.
We will vote as far as we have our PVC. We will vote. Despite we say they are not doing well, but we are not voting for them, but we are voting for better future ahead. That is what we are voting for.
Do you have your PVC?
I have my PVCs at home right about now.
With the enactment of the 2022 Electoral Act and the relative success at the Ekiti and Osun gubernatorial polls, residents believe INEC can work their magic with the Beavers machine and reduce electoral malpractice.
The INEC has made a lot of preparations, but the problem with our system is that for any good policy you bring out in this country, there are people that will want to manipulate it to circumvent it. And I think that's where the security agencies will come out and do something very critical about it.
Few hours to the presidential election, and a lot of people here in Kaduna Metropolis are queuing at filling stations trying to get petrol. Although they are uncertain about what the future holds for them, they are confident that come Saturday, they will be electing the president of their choice. Sarah Ayeku, TVC News, Kaduna.
Residents that have attained the voting age in Jos, the Plateau State capital, are happy and set to cast their votes in the coming Saturday, February 25th nationwide presidential election. Our crew took time to go around the Jos Bokru metropolis to hear from people on their level of preparedness as the day drew nearer. While some expressed mixed feelings towards the day, others say they are happy and looking forward to going to the polling unit and voting for their choice of presidential candidate.
I am prepared with my household. We will come out and cast our vote.
We have come of age to desist from voting on the basis of primordial sentiments, things like voting because of religion or voting because of ethnicity or regionalism.
The Independent National Electoral Commission in the state has assured of their readiness to conduct free, fair, and credible polls. The police authorities on their part have expressed their preparedness to provide security during the polls in the state.
And we'll be doing everything in our powers to ensure that the pre, the post, and even the election proper, all of them are conducted in a very peaceful atmosphere.
All eligible voters are expected to go to their various polling units and exercise their franchise peacefully. Funam Joshua, TVC News, Jos.
It is just a matter of hours before the commencement of the 2023 general elections. For several months, political parties and their candidates have been canvassing for votes. It is now time for Nigerians to determine who their next president and federal lawmakers would be. Let's find out from residents of Gombe what they hope that these sets of leaders would bring to the table.
When we have next government, the government are expected to have a good sense of leadership and honesty, which the society should benefit by fostering peace, justice, and progress among the people.
I want the next coming president to help us, especially us the youth, to create job opportunity and also the security in Nigeria and education sector.
Economic and the security, that is the only thing that I will just look for it. But we have many things. There is insufficient of social amenities, and then there is problem of roads, water, medicine in the hospitals. All this thing is a problem, but that insecurity and the economic is the main thing that they're supposed to come and look for it.
First of all, is security. When we have a standard security, I believe that everything will move as expected. We are praying that God will give us a leader that have the nation at heart, not a leader that wants his pockets. That is what we are praying for. I just pray that God will give us a peaceful election.
Apparently, the priorities of most residents of Gombe is security, the economy, and social welfare. As they go to the polls in the next few hours, these issues may guide their pattern of voting and influence who becomes the next president of Nigeria. Landry Adeyemi, TVC News, Gombe.
Edo State boasts of more than 8 million people, but the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says only 2.13 million of that size have a permanent voter's card, which is the most important requisite to cast a vote on election day. During a long trip from the state capital, Benin City, to the northern part of Edo State, the situation across the towns and villages suggests Saturday's polls will be violence-free, as those willing and ready to exercise their voting franchise have one thing in mind.
My PVC is clean and ready to vote. I'm going to vote for the candidate of my choice, which is best known to me.
This is my first time to be in Auchi during election time.
It has always been peaceful, and I believe it's going to be peaceful.
Free and fair. And on election that they have been conducting in Auchi, is always peaceful. No violence. And with the help of the security agents, election is always peaceful here.
The distribution of electoral materials is ongoing across the state. For Edo North, this is where the sensitive and non-sensitive materials were received. And from here, there will be an onward movement to all polling units on Saturday morning.
From what I've heard on social media, what I've read on television and radio, and what I'm seeing here this morning, I think they are ready for the election.
It is less than 24 hours to the deal day, and the people of Edo State are ready to elect or re-elect candidates of their choices into the Nigerian legislature, and most importantly, a new president for the biggest black nation in the world. Promise Foge, TVC News, Edo State.
Contrary to some reports in the social media that the southeastern part of Nigeria may be overtaken by insecurity, making it impossible for some states to vote, I can tell you authoritatively that the people of Ebonyi State are ready and willing to cast their ballot come Saturday.
Initially, I was kind of scared of
rioting and snatching of boxes and all that thuggery. But with the way things are going now, the government has deployed soldiers, military men from different parts of the world to make sure that everything works out perfectly well. So I'm no longer scared. I will come out and vote.
I will vote. I'm prepared. I had to transfer my voting PVC from the former polling booth to the one that is nearest to my house.
I'm expecting cool and fair election, not violence or fighting everywhere. I just need a cool and fair election.
I would have loved to vote during the presidential election, but I would say maybe I was denied the opportunity of getting my permanent voter's card. It makes me feel so bad though. I can't even tell my friend or anybody that I'm not going to participate in the presidential election.
No matter whatever the crisis is, I will be there, cast my vote.
Talking of the Commissioner of Police says no group of persons can stop the people of Ebonyi State from exercising their right come Saturday.
We have deployed our men to all polling booths, to rack, collation centers, even armed men to some area that we believe is criminal black spots. And other areas we are feeling there are going to be problems. Even those who are threatening that election will not hold, we have deployed adequate security to deal with them.
Now, according to him, the security agencies are determined to make the state uncomfortable to would-be troublemakers.
Let them get out of this state. Election must hold in this state. There is no way that it will not hold. There is what we call Operation Show of Force. My men just came back from the bush where the camp of these guys were, and they have engaged them. Day before yesterday, we engaged them at Ishelu. We recovered 2 vehicles from them, recover arms and ammunition. So we have been pushing them. The last one we pushed this evening, we pushed them to the border across the water to Benue State.